Hello and welcome. I am so happy that you are here. This is the first in our series of 4 videos on money magic. If you have been watching my channel for a while and you feel like this is a different backdrop, it is. This is actually part of my kitchen. I am filming in here today because I'm working on some of the spells that we're going to be doing in the later videos. And so I just figured since I was already set up down here, we would just film this educational fundamentals video of money magic right here in the kitchen. This is actually also the money corner of my home, and I actually have one of the spells we are working on right here in this bowl. I'm also much closer to my tea when I'm down here, and I can just make fresh cups while filming, and that's just the best. If you are brand new here, hello, my name is Taylor Eaton. I am a money mindset and wealth embodiment expert, an oracle deck author, a business mentor, and an entrepreneur. What all of those titles really mean is that I use lots of different modalities to help people transform their financial reality. And over the last 5+ years, I have worked with thousands of people to help them manifest more money into their life with ease. But this series is a little bit different than what I have done before, because in this series, as the name suggests, we are talking about magic, particularly how we use magic as a tool to attract more money into our lives. So we're really diving into the mystical, the occult, the esoteric, and seeing how we can tap into that to create more prosperity, more wealth, and more abundance for ourselves. I have personally been doing money magic or some form of it for over 10 years now. I mean, over 20 if we want to be truthful. I've been doing this sort of stuff since I was in my early teens. But I've never really talked about this practice I have with money magic very publicly before, because it's always felt like a very personal practice. It's felt very private in a lot of ways. But as I get older and wiser and wealthier and generally more confident in this stuff, in money magic, and in my ability to teach it and share it, I've been feeling more of that intuitive nudge to share it with you so that you can use any of these spells and techniques that we're going to go over, if they resonate with you, to create a more abundant life. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is the first of 4 videos in this money magic series. This video is going to go over the fundamentals of money magic. So what you really need to know in order to start practicing it, or if you've been doing some sort of money magic and you're not seeing the results you want, this is really where we want to start, is with the fundamentals of understanding how money magic works, what goes into it, how you work a spell, all of that sort of stuff. And then the next 3 videos that we go into are each going to be on a different money spell that I'm going to walk you through. So we're going to have some spells for banishing debt or money blocks. We're going to have a spell for attracting money. They're so powerful. These 3 spells that I'm going to be sharing with you in the later part of the series are some of my favorite money spells that I have personally used to do really incredible things with in my financial reality, and so I can't wait to share them with you. So to make sure that you get the most out of the series and out of the spells that I'm going to be sharing with you in the next few videos, I want you to do 3 things. The first thing is to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. So if you aren't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the future videos with those spells that I have coming out for you in the next few days here. The second thing is to click the link in the description below this video to register for this money magic series for free if you haven't already. Like I said, the videos are going to be here on my YouTube page, but when you register, I'm going to be emailing you exclusive tips to help you supercharge or boost each of the spells that we walk through in the next 3 videos of the series. So you don't want to miss those. They're so powerful. They are completely free, but the only way to get them is by registering for this program, and then they will be delivered directly to your inbox. The third thing is to watch this whole video in its entirety. Watch all the way to the end, because I am sharing some really powerful principles with you in this video that are going to set you up for success with the money spells that I give you. Now, one more quick note here before we dive in. This series here is my take on magic, and on money magic in particular. So as always, with everything I or anyone else tells you about magic or any other modality around money or spirituality or anything like that, please take everything with a grain of salt. Use your own internal discretion. Use your inner guidance system, your intuition, your gut, whatever you want to call it. But make sure you just take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. I am so excited to get to dive in with you now into the fundamentals of money magic. This video is going to have 2 main parts to it. The first part is going to be what money magic is, how it works, the principles behind it, And then the second part is going to be how to actually do money magic, the practical steps, the anatomy of a spell, all that good stuff. I've already talked a little bit about what money magic is and how it works in some previous videos, so I'm going to go ahead and link some cards up here. Not sure which side it'll be on. I will link some cards for you up there with the previous videos where I have talked about this stuff. So if you want to go more in depth into some of the more philosophical concepts behind what magic is, how it works, all that sort of stuff, then you can definitely check those out. I will also link them in the description below this video for you. But I'm going to talk about what magic is in a slightly different way than I've said it before, so that it hopefully really lands with you and clicks better than ever before. So let's dive right in with the most basic thing you need to know in order to do money magic, which is, what is magic? The simplest way I can explain what magic is that it is a tool or a modality that helps you consciously focus your power. I've found that magic tends to work for people to manifest things into their life where other modalities for manifestation or for self-improvement haven't worked, or where they want to boost those practices. So for example, if you are someone who struggles with affirmations, you might do better with doing an incantation paired with some sort of ritual. Or if you love affirmations, having some sort of incantation with a ritual that you do might even help you take that to the next level. This is because magic, the act of having spells, rituals, practices that we do that tap a little bit into that mystical side of things, opens us up more to a kind of playfulness and that sense of possibility in our lives. I also find that it just kind of streamlines our intention as well. It really forces us to focus in on what we are trying to change in our lives, what we're trying to call in or get rid of, and gives us ways to really bring a lot of, like I said, intention and focus and conscious energy into actually creating that change in our lives. To put it another way, practicing magic is really just a conscious conversion or focusing of energy, of our energy, of the energy of the world around us, of the energy of the tools or ingredients we use in our spells, of anything you can think of, anything in the world around you. Now, it's important to keep in mind, though, that as much as we can use other tools and ingredients in our spell work, in our magical practices, we can tap into the energy of those things, harness and direct the energy of those things for our own benefit. You cannot forget that you are the main power in your life. You are the source of your own power in this lifetime. Your spells, your ingredients, your practices aren't the source of your magic, of your power, of your ability to create in this life. You are the creator of your life. You are the creator of your reality. You are that extension of source or God or the universe or whatever you want to call it. And magic is just a way that we harness that power of you, that we harness your power, that you harness your own power. Magical practices are just ways that you consciously direct or amplify your power. And once you understand this, you understand that you are the main source of power in your life, that you are the creator of your reality, and that magic is just the conscious focusing of that energy, you start to realize that you're actually doing magic all the time. If you're in the spiritual or manifestation community, this might sound familiar to you because a lot of people and teachers around manifestation will say you're manifesting all the time. You are constantly creating your reality. You're just often doing it on autopilot. And it's the same thing with magic. You are constantly doing magic in your life. You just usually aren't aware of it. Think about it. You are constantly exchanging energy in your day-to-day life with things, with people, with the world around you. Even within yourself, you're changing energy, you're changing your emotional state, you're changing your energy levels based on activities you do, foods you eat, whether you sleep or not, all of that sort of stuff. You are constantly doing magic. You are constantly engaging with and exchanging and converting and transmuting energy. That's just a part of being alive. But like I said, most of the time you are manifesting or using magic unconsciously, on autopilot, on a subconscious level. And I find that this is where, honestly, a lot of misunderstanding and fear around magic comes into play. There's a lot of fear out there that if you don't know what you're doing with magic, if you aren't incredibly knowledgeable or incredibly seasoned with magic, that you will create things in your life that you don't want. Now, everyone has their beliefs around magic, around manifestation, around spirituality, around how the world works. I personally believe that you are the creator of your reality. You are the power in your life. You're the operant power. You're the source, whatever you want to call it. You are that power. You are that one in your life, in your reality. You are the most powerful thing in your life. And everything in your life is an extension of you, just as you are an extension of the universe. At least that's my take. This life is just about you finding new ways to harness your power and experience yourself and all that you can create. And magic and manifestation and spiritual modalities are all just tools to help you consciously do that in an intentional way. So I don't believe that there's anything to fear when it comes to practicing magic, because you are the most powerful thing in your life experience. The end. And even if something did come up that you feared or that you didn't want in your life, you have the ability to use your magic, your focus, your tools to course correct, to shift that, to address that in any way you need to. And if you don't have the tools, you have the ability and power to learn and find the tools to do that. I think so many of us are so afraid in life, and especially when it comes to money, around messing up. But you can't really mess it up because you can always shift. You can always try something different. You can always try a different approach to making money. You can always try a different spell. You could always do something different, whether it's with magic or otherwise. So that's something we really have to keep in mind, especially as we dive into working our magic with money, is that you can't be so afraid. You can't be so afraid of money or the lack thereof of it in your life, or of certain things happening with money that feel out of your control. You have to really be willing to claim your power as the creator of your reality in order to access the full power of the creator of your reality. Honestly, a lot of fear that we experience in our lives, and especially around things like magic and manifestation and spiritual modalities, it actually comes from not fully understanding how powerful you actually are. Or it comes from subconscious creations or habits that you're using to keep yourself small because you're afraid of the full potential of your own power. So if you are brand new to magic, if you feel like you don't trust yourself or you don't know enough to practice magic, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through how to go about it in this next section that we're about to dive into together. But I want to just say here that the most important thing with any magic or any spiritual practice or tool is to just go into it with clear intention. That's really the most important thing, because you are the operant power in your life. You are the creator of your life experience. And as long as you have a clear intent of what you want to create and where you want to go, so many roadblocks or potential pitfalls that you might come across disappear if you have that clear intent to help you navigate through them. So that's kind of all I want to say on the topic of what magic is, and even touching a little bit on that confidence behind your magic. Again, if you want to go deeper into what I have to say about how money magic works, what it really is, all that sort of stuff, I go again deeper in that in some previous videos. So again, those are linked below for you if you want to check them out. Now that we've covered the fundamentals of what magic is, let's dive into the fundamentals of money magic and how to practice it, how to actually do it, what it looks like when you're doing magic, so that you have confidence in how to go about casting a spell or creating a magical ritual or anything along those lines. I found that the easiest way to go about doing any sort of magical working, so spells, rituals, anything like that, is doing it in 3 steps. Those 3 steps are preparation, working your magic, and embodiment. So let's break each one of those steps down. Step number 1 is our preparation step. And what this looks like is getting clear on what your intention is, then choosing or creating a spell that will help you reach that intention, and then gathering any ingredients that you need to do the spell. A quick note on that, each ingredient or tool that you use in your magic, in your spell, your practice, whatever you want to call it, should be chosen intentionally. Each ingredient or tool or piece of your spell should be serving a purpose. It should be there for a reason. So that's step number 1. That's just preparing and getting ready to actually do your money magic. Step number 2 is to then actually work your magic. Do your actual spell or your ritual or your practice. I'll probably just be using the word spell interchangeably here, but that's what I mean is the act of performing the magic that you're gonna do. Now, what does it look like to actually do your magic, to actually do your spell? So the first thing that you want to do is cleanse your tools or area. And the reason we do this is just to cleanse or clear the energy that you are bringing into this practice or into this space that you're doing your spell in. I personally like to smoke cleanse using incense. It's just easy and quick and also smells good. I will probably show you how to do this in one of the spell videos we have coming up. But you can also cleanse with sage, with spray, with water, with just intent and visualization. It's completely up to you, and there are a lot of different ways to go about cleansing. The next step is then to center yourself. This is where you want to call all of your energy in, all of your power back. When we're going about our day, we're often kind of scattering our energy. We're putting it in different things. We're putting our focus in different areas. Our mind might be scattered. We might have kind of energetically put our power, our magic, our energy into different areas of our life or into other people. And when we are centering ourselves, we are calling that energy back in. This way you can put as much of your energy and yourself into your spell as you need or want to. I often do this by just taking a deep breath and visualizing all of my energy as light and seeing it all come rushing back to myself and kind of all gathering in a central place in like kind of a sphere in my chest, in my body. But again, I'm a light worker, so that may or may not resonate with you. You can absolutely do a completely different centering practice if you want to. I just recommend keeping it very quick and simple so that you can do it in order to then get into your spell. The next step is to ask for guidance. This is optional, and I know some practitioners of magic don't do this, but I like to ask for guidance from my spirit team, my guides. You might want to ask your ancestors. I do this with deities I work with. You can do this with oracle cards or tarot cards or any sort of divination tools you have, but just checking in to see if there's any guidance that you may need to hear or know before you dive into doing this spell. And now we are ready to actually do our spell. We've kind of done this initial spell work of gathering ourselves, getting any guidance we need, centering ourselves and our energy. And now we begin our spell, our ritual, our incantation, our practice, whatever it is. And remember, as you do this, do it with intention. Be present with it. Don't just go through the motions. The whole point of magic is to bring more intention and focus and presentness into what you are doing and into what you are calling into your life. So make sure you are doing your practices, your magic, with intention, with present-mindedness. Once you have completed your spell, we close out the spell by shielding and protecting ourselves. And when I say shielding and protecting, I like to put up some sort of shield energetically to seal off my practice and to protect myself moving forward throughout my day. There are tons of shielding exercises out there, tons of different practices for protection in your own magic and personal spiritual work. So entirely up to you what you want to use here. But I always recommend once you've kind of been in that more spiritual realm, you've been more in that ethereal place, tapped into the mystic, then I would really recommend shielding and really bringing yourself back into this kind of-protected space because you've been so open to that spiritual realm for however long you've been doing your spell work. I will often visualize a sphere of kind of light going up around my body. Sometimes my spirit guides and team help put that up. Completely up to you how you want to do it. And then lastly, I will ground myself. Sometimes I do this before I shield, so you can kind of interchange these last two steps of this part of our work. You want to ground yourself after you've been doing all of the spiritual work. Again, this is just that act of bringing yourself down into the present moment, into your body, into the physical realm. So grounding can look a lot of ways for different people. For me, it's often just drinking some water or going out and doing a little bit of gardening or eating a little snack, just something to bring me back to my body, something physical. Once your spell is complete, once you have done your magical workings, now is where the really important part comes in, and that is our step 3, which is embodying your magic. Step 3 is the step that almost no one talks about, honestly. And this is such a shame because it is one of the most important pieces of doing magic. And it's honestly why most money spells or even manifestation techniques don't work for people. Remember what I said earlier in this video, that you are always doing magic. You are always manipulating energy. You are always doing some form of magic or manifestation work in your life. You're just often not conscious of it. So if your subconscious beliefs and energy patterns around money are scarce or limiting to you, or in other words, you are not aligned with or being the version of you who's already had this spell work for you, you're not embodying this spell being successful right now before the money shows up, then you are actively, subconsciously, but actively working against the magic or the spell that you just did. Which means that oftentimes when people do money magic or manifestation work around money, they are blocking it as soon as they're done with it, and they don't even realize it. This is where I think we need to shift the way that most people look at magic or manifestation work. Because any modality, whether it's affirmations or visualizations or magic spells or rituals, those things are not a means to an end. They are not meant to force the money you want into fruition in your life experience. Rather, those things are meant to help you consciously rewire yourself to change the way you're being mentally, energetically, physically, on all planes in this lifetime. They're tools to help you over time change the way you are creating unconsciously so that your unconscious autopilot habits around, especially money, start to shift, and therefore what you create in your life shifts. This element of embodying the version of us who already has received the outcome we desire from our spells, that's the hardest part of magic, of manifestation, of any tools like that. Because we're often looking for the money we want to show up in order to believe that our spell or our magic or our manifestation practices worked. Basically, we're waiting for the money we're trying to manifest or magic into our worlds to appear before we will actually believe that we are capable of performing magic or manifesting the things we want. But when we do that, we are operating from doubt and limitation and lack and scarcity. And with that underlying energy, you quickly work against the magic that you've done. You undo it, you block it. So this is so incredibly important. And if you really only take one thing from this video, this is what I want you to take from it. If you want your money spells to work, you have to believe as soon as you've done them that they're done, that they've worked, that they're working, period. The end. You have to believe as soon as your money spell is done that the money is of course going to show up. Because you did the spell, the money's going to show up. The end. There's no question in your mind about it. And then you go about your day and your life knowing that your spell worked, that the money is coming, that it's basically almost already here. In other words, embody this version of you who's already had all the money that they desire from their spells come into their lives. Be, think, and act like that version as much as you can now before the money comes in. This isn't to say you go spending irresponsibly. It means that you approach life and your perspective on things through that lens. Now, I know this is easier said than done. I get it. This is, like I said, the hardest yet most important part of your money magic work. So if you find yourself struggling to believe in the effectiveness of your money magic spells that you work, whether it's the ones I give you or other ones you create or find elsewhere, then I've got some resources for you to help you with that. The first resource is my free financial frequency series. I will put the card for that playlist up above here. That walks you through the basics of how to embody your next level of wealth, the version of you who already has all the wealth they desire, or the version of you who already has had these successful money spells work for them. The second resource is a membership I run called The Wealth Vibe. And this is probably my favorite thing that I have ever created in my business so far. The Wealth Vibe is a membership and community that is designed to help you master that art of wealth embodiment, to help you really cultivate the habit of energetically, mentally, physically embodying the wealth that you desire, the wealth that you are calling in with your money magic. It is an amazing space unlike anything else out there, a place to really help you hold that faith, persist in that belief that what you desire is coming, that you already have it, that it's materializing now in your life. And the members in there are phenomenal and have had mind-blowing results after just a short time in the membership. Things like unexpected money manifestations, selling out offers in their businesses after months of no sales at all, getting raises or promotions at work, and so much more. And for the month of October inside of the Wealth Vibe membership, we are working more with money magic. It's not necessarily a money magic community, though a lot of people in there do practice money magic. But we are, for the month of October, doing a challenge in there to help you connect more with that element of magic around money in your life. And I'll probably also be dropping exclusive bonus content in there with possibly more spells or other tools for money magic. So if you want to get all of the info on the Wealth Vibe membership, you can do so at the link in the description below this video. I will probably pin it in the comments for you. You can also go to tayloreaton.com/thewealthvibe. This is my favorite thing I have created thus far in my business. It is what I'm pouring all of my energy into moving forward in my business for the foreseeable future, for the next couple of years at least. So I am so excited to get to share that with you if it resonates with you. Enrollment for the Wealth Vibe is open typically the last week of every month. So it is open right now when this video is first going live. If you're watching this later and you missed the opportunity to sign up, you can just, again, click that link that I give you below. That'll give you the option to sign up for the waitlist. You'll get notified when enrollment opens again, and then that way you can dive in the next time the doors open. Now, whether you use those resources I just listed for you or not, the main takeaway here is that if you want your money spells to work, you have to believe that they have worked before the money actually shows up. If you think about a very skilled magic practitioner, like even just summoning to your head the idea of a witch or whatever word you want to use who is really good at doing money spells, who has mastered them. When you think about that kind of person, when they do a money spell, do you think afterwards they're sitting there doubting it and questioning whether it's actually going to work and checking their bank account or their notifications to see if the money they want came in that next minute? No, of course not. She knows the spell will work. That person knows the spell worked. They know it and they act like it. And so if you want to become someone who is very skilled at money magic, who can banish any debt they wish or break through any limiting belief around money at any point in time, or call in whatever amount of money they want, or multiply the money that they desire, which are all, by the way, the spells that we're going to be covering in the next 3 videos, then you have to act like that kind of person. You have to become that person. So that's what you need to do. If you want your spell to work, you have to act like it worked. Otherwise, you are actively blocking it from working. Now that we've got the fundamentals of magic and how to do money magic covered, we are going to be diving into 3 of my favorite money spells over the next few days. These are powerful spells. Most of them include ingredients or tools that you probably already have at home, and they are so magical, so potent, so powerful. I cannot wait to get to share them with you. I'm going to be walking you through each of these spells in the next several videos. So make sure you are registered for the series. Again, that link is in the description below so that you get the extra tips I'm going to send along with each of these spells via email to help really supercharge them or boost them and give them that extra power or spice. And be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment below. Let me know what you think about money magic. If you've been practicing it for a while, what some of your favorite approaches to it are, or if you had any aha moments while watching this video. I'd love to hear about them. I will see you in our next video for our first money spell. I cannot wait for that. And until then, I am wishing you so much love and abundance.